All right, guys, we are back for our first of two replay casts. First one, Division C East Almost Legends versus House. One of the fantastic things about replay casts is we get more action in less time. We don't have to wait for players. We don't have to wait for drafts or lobbies. In fact, we are all ready to go already for Game 1. Game 1 will be played on Cursed Hollow. And for the, the team on the left will be Almost Legends. Team Captain Belalos on Johanna, Megalomania on Rhaegar, Hoedown on Falstad, Emsa on Thrall, and Tribulation on the Slug Abathur. The red team, and veteran, to be sure, amateur team. I remember playing House of Chez way back in the Chair League days. We have Flash, or clumped up, I can't tell. Let's see. Flash on Gul'dan, Caribou on Ariel, No Dice on Leoric, Death 1300s on Anubarak, and the Hurricane on Ragnaros. So it looks like Almost Legends, they want absolutely no part of the ceremonial 5-on-5 in the mid lane. Instead, they're going to try to get a free tower here. House of Chez has sniffed it out, and they rotate very late. Instead of trying to rotate down, they just kind of slowly maneuver their way into lanes. Leoric making sure he doesn't rotate into a trap. And now he will take the vision. And despite the tower advantage, you can look up at the top, Almost Legends actually lost a little bit of soak there by not having bodies in lane. But let's talk about the the drafts a little bit. The team composition, since we don't have a draft lobby to do that in. Abathur, of course, a little bit weaker pre-10, and then he comes online and he can be an absolute nightmare to deal with. And with the Falstad and an Abathur, they basically have functionally a double global. However, Falstad is really the only ranged assassin that's typically not a hero you see as a hyper carry. So we'll see if Falstad is able to put out enough damage as the solo ranged. And Falstad going with the traditional Q build. And actually, he's a little far out. Hoedown realized he was in a rough spot, quickly barrel rolled over the wall. Now, on the flip side of that, you have the old peanut butter and jelly combo of Gul'dan and Ariel. Gul'dan will be able to battery Ariel just plenty, and House of Chez really pushing in with the Bruisers. Early game Bruisers getting a lot of value out of this, and Almost Legends having a little bit of a rough time clearing out this wave. That spell armor really providing a lot of value, and this front wall is taking a lot of siege damage. Hoedown taking a lot of poke from the Gul'dan. Johanna actually very low life, forced to pop that Iron Skin, and this spell shield is still here and active. Maybe a little bit of a misplay from Almost Legends not to focus down that wizard faster. Falstad gets whipped into what's left of that tower, and the front wall in the mid lane down. 2 minutes and 37 seconds in, and they're banking on a small level lead with that. Abathur, however, has effectively mined this entire way. Gul'dan does not want to go first because he will take a lot of damage. Instead, it's going to be Caribou on Ariel, eating 3 mines on the way up. Both teams are here. Thrall is going to be a little bit late, and Leoric is kind of catching him coming up. Both teams posturing, Leoric and Thrall dueling in the bottom. Now the hat goes on Thrall. That's going to give him the advantage. Leoric is in trouble, and down goes Leoric. First blood going over to Rhaegar, actually, with the wolf bite to finish him off. And that's a big moment here for Almost Legends. Johanna taking a lot of damage. Hasn't popped the Iron Skin yet. There it is. Leoric, though, will be spawning here shortly, and I think Almost Legends has to give up this tribute. I don't see a way that they can get this. Maybe they just stall it out long enough to get more and more soak from Abathur, but that's all going to be negated if somebody from Almost Legends falls. No interrupt just yet. Thrall does get it on the bottom side. Dragging this out, dragging this out. Falstad very low, able to get away barely. Abba is getting the off-lane soak. However, the members of Almost Legends are so low. You can't stay in that long. And they have to concede this. Finally bullied away long enough. The first objective will go to House of Chez. But the Abathur, body soaking in the bottom lane. Definitely got Almost Legends some value there. And that value comes in the form of about a half a level lead. But once again, Gul'dan, Ariel, Abba plus a wave. The Beatles as well taking this. This is so much pressure in the mid lane. House of Chez really doing a great job of just abusing that mid lane with the Ariel, Gul'dan, and the waves. This time, Gul'dan actually forced to use some cooldowns to clear out these mines, as the Abathur is just mining up these objectives so very, very much. Now, if you're an Abba on Cursed Hollow, you really want to get at least one of the pre-10 tributes. If you don't, it's pretty rough. And this is the one you want to get. It's on your side of the battlefield. They do have minions pushing mid, Abba soaking top. Almost Legends really does not mind if this turns into another long, drawn-out battle. Hoedown taking a lot of damage on the flank. Thrall coming in on the flank too, with an Abba hat as well. Posturing continues. Neither side able to take it. Hoedown needs to be really careful coming in on a naked flank like that. If a noob hits his double stun, he's going to be in trouble. Rhaegar also in trouble. 3-man condemn. Leoric very, very low, as is Johanna. Iron Skin used, not enough. Johanna goes down. Thrall able to kill Leoric on the backside, but Rhaegar also goes down. So a 3-for-1 in favor of House of Chez. Despite those 3 kills, though, look at the battlefield. The Abba really playing dividends, as well as a well-timed Merc camp here. So they will have level 10s on board, hopefully, for this next tribute, because Almost Legends, they really, really need level 10s to be on board. They're just fighting a man down like that, even with the hat, has just proven to be much, much too difficult. Now we're going to fall here mid lane, returning the siege damage, Almost Legends. So here we are. This will be on House of Chez's side of the map. Falstad is rotating down. They're going to try to get a timely pick on the Leoric. It's going to be close. They're not going to be able to finish him off. Hopefully Falstad has flight, as Rhaegar and Johanna are doing everything they can to burn this camp down, but Almost Legends, they really, really need this tribute. Blessed Shield for Johanna, Ancestral Healing for Rhaegar. That is the clone that I'm blanking on. Thank you. Ultimate Evolution for Abathur, Sundering for Thrall, and Falstad is holding his heroic. I assume it will be Gust for the boss control, but he hasn't picked yet. Good call here for the side of Almost Legends, rather than rotate down and respond to this bottom push, because House of Chez, they chose to get bottom lane pressure instead of go for the tribute. Now both sides actually trading the other team's boss, the aggressive side. You don't see a gentleman's trade on your own boss too often. For the side of House of Chez, it is Horrify, Crystal Aegis for Ariel, March of the Black King for Leoric, Cocoon for Anubarak. Now, Falstad's trying to get in here for the boss deal. It's going to be close. Is he here in time? He was, but he didn't have vision and didn't want to pull the trigger. And it is actually Lava Wave for Ragnaros. Now, Rag is in the top lane. He is not here for this tribute. It looks like House of Chez is going to concede this tribute as well, instead opting to leave Rag to burn the boss. Thrall will rotate down to do some lane maintenance in the bottom. So this next tribute is going to be absolutely huge, going to be the momentum swing of the mid-game next tribute, and somebody is going to get Curse. And since both of these teams have already lost bottom lane and top lane forts respectively, a Curse could actually spell a keep as well. I really like what House of Chez is doing here. They're not overreacting to the double globals. They just kind of, wherever they happen to be, they just go get some siege damage. However, bottom lane tribute will force them to rotate all the way across the map. Falstad will have flight. He will be able to get here after cleaning up the soak. The rest of the members of Almost Legends will once again have the mid lane bruisers pushing down. And this is it. This is going to be a huge moment in this game. Falstad is flying down now. The positional advantage does go over to House of Chez, but Leoric took so much damage. A huge Sundering splits him out, but Gul'dan got a free channel on the backside despite Leoric falling. The curse actually goes over to House of Chez, and nobody cares. A defensive Horrify goes out. Evolution Thrall will go down, but a huge three-man condemn into the punish. House of Chez is in trouble. Crystal Aegis goes out to try to save the Gul'dan. It hasn't mattered yet because down goes Gul'dan. Anub'arak is going to be next on the chopping block, and he is a 3-4-0. But Almost Legends, they have to back up and do some lane maintenance. With the curse right now, they're going to get pushed in. This bottom keep is in trouble, already under siege from the Katas. The Abahat is going to help relieve some of that pressure, but it's not going to be enough. Someone has to respond. Falstad going to the mid, Thrall going to the bottom. Let's go ahead and check to see if Abathur took the mule, and he did not. So this damage is going to stay. So curse secured for House of Chez, but they're not able to capitalize due to the 3 unanswered kills coming out by Almost Legends. It's actually a good thing that Gul'dan did sneak in the cap on the bottom side of that team fight. Otherwise, the curse would have assuredly, definitely, gone to House of Legends, or I'm sorry, Almost Legends, and House of Chez would have been in trouble. House of Legends is actually a pretty good team name. So the mid-game lull continues. All 5 members of House of Chez, they're rotating to the bottom. I'm not quite sure what they're doing. Are they just going to try to pressure this in? Are they going to try to wipe out this bottom keep? Falstad does fly down. They need to keep this in now, but 5 Minds Eat and a great gust by Falstad to make sure there is no chance of that keep going down. That is a fantastic use of Mighty Gust, giving time for the rest of the members of Almost Legends to rotate down. That was a great idea by House of Chez, rotating out of sight, down to the bottom lane, seeing if they could snipe that keep. But the Falstad Global coming up huge, and now these teams are clashing, trying to fight under Molten Core. Ragnaros is here, and a lot of damage. March of the Black King on the backside could be coming shortly as Leoric Ghost walked all the way to the back. Crystal Aegis goes out. This fight is all over the place. The Thrall clone is just completely nullifying the Gul'dan, was absolutely wailing on him, but now that he has been taken down, Johanna is the first to fall. Nice job by House of Chez to bait that fight under the Molten Core. Rhaegar could be in trouble. Thrall actually cocooned, and this is going to be trouble. Gust is up, so Falstad is going to gust them away on the back of this to keep Thrall alive, and he does. Nice play by Hoedown. That's 2 huge gusts there. Good patience for Almost Legends as well. Now, Johanna, if they hurry, no, they're not going to contest this. Both bosses will be up here in 9 seconds. Top right boss is already up. And they immediately start on this boss, figuring House of Chez will go to the objective, and they will. It's going to be a hatted Thrall that's going to tank this until Johanna gets here. House of Chez, of course, they know what's going on. They immediately rotate onto their boss, and this is going to be the second boss trade of the game. Gust is not up for another 14 seconds, so no chance to steal this one. However, Falstad is flying. Let's see where he's going to go. Flies up. He is there safely, but not in time once again to steal the boss away. Level 16 to level 16, 5 kills to 4. Structures are dead even. Thrall a little bit exposed over here. They don't realize that he's there. He wants the big sundering flank. That's what he's looking for. Rhaegar also a little exposed. A big Horrify here. He could put those guys out. This is a huge sundering flanking position. Molten Core is probably up, so I don't know if you want to fight here if you're the side of Almost Legends. There goes the clone on the backside, however. Emsa on Thrall decides that that's probably not a good idea, and I think he's right. House of Chez is actually pushing in with the boss. They're letting the boss for Almost Legends push in unopposed. This thing is still very healthy. So all heroics are here and available for both sides except for Lava Wave, so that doesn't mean a lot. Positioning advantage heavily in favor of House of Chez, though. And Almost Legends, they don't really seem to be interested in stepping into this quite yet. Now Johanna goes. She's going to throw the flashlight, I imagine, to interrupt, but not able to do so yet. There's the interrupt, and there's the gust to force the better positioning. Cocoon goes on to the Falstad. Ancestral onto Leoric. Burrow Charge misses onto the Thrall. Rhaegar really in the thick of it now that Ancestral's out. Johanna is just eating a ton of damage. Ironskin to try to keep him up. It's actually Leoric that's a first of all. Finally, a Horrify goes out and may change this fight. Abahat not able to keep Johanna alive. Burrow Charge onto the Rhaegar. Now the Hat trying to keep the Rhaegar up, but I think he will have the movement to get away. A 1-4-1 there. But House of Chez able to secure the trib, and we're going to have another tribute here in 30 to 45 seconds or so that will once again determine which of these two sides will get a curse. Oh, sorry about that. And I thought I hit the mute button too, and I muted the wrong mic. Both teams securing the mid lane bruisers. Both teams posturing over the trib. Same level, 18 for both sides. Johanna's going to be here a little bit later than everybody else. Might give House of Chez the advantageous positioning one more time. But also for Almost Legends, they need to wait about another 5 seconds for Ancestral to be online. He's looking for that huge Sunder. Not there yet. The Wolf for the interrupt, though, the Thrall on the backside. And once again, a very split engagement. All of these engagements have been halts, but there's the Sunder able to isolate out with the Gul'dan, but the rest of the damage not able there to finish it up. Horrify maybe a little early. Thrall is actually cocooned. This is looking good, I think, for Almost Legends, but these battles are so all over the place. Oh, the Gul'dan damage. They grouped for it and absolutely got wrecked. One massive echo of corruption just completely changed that team fight around. It was actually looking pretty good for House of Chez, but Gul'dan came in there, hit a huge E. Now Almost Legends withdrawing to their base under pressure of Curse. Thrall down for another 30 seconds or so. This keep is going down, and they're going to Molten Core on this. Almost Legends needs to be really, really careful. There's the Molten Core. I'm not sure if they're thinking second keep or game, but they're putting damage into Core, so they're thinking game, and if Falstad goes down, they should be thinking that. Gust is still up. There's the Gust used defensively. Core shielding is down now, 90%, 80%, 60%. Thrall will be coming up now. A big March of the Black King. I don't think it's going to be enough. Game 1 is going to go over to House of Chez. It's been a little while since I've done a replay cast. Let's see. I don't know if I can get to... There we go. There's the there. I'm curious though if I not. It's sort of there, a little awkward, but we'll make it work. You know, in the beginning of the game, I was concerned about the raw damage from the Falstad, and he put out enough damage, but it just didn't seem like they ever had quite enough finishing power in a lot of those team fights that were so close. Let's go ahead and switch back to the camera screen here. We will get game 2 loaded up between House of Chez and Almost Legends. Minion Miners is next. All right, so game 2 is on Towers of Doom, and thankfully the teams didn't switch sides on me because that really messes up the overlays. So let's go ahead and jump straight in to game 2 between Almost Legends and House of Chez on Towers of Doom. So the left team, Almost Legends in the blue trunks, Team Captain Belalos on ETC, Megalomania on Stukav, Tribulation on Dahaka, Hoedown on Greymane, and EMSA on Jaina. The victors from Game 1, House of Chez, Death 1300s on Tychus, The Hurricane on Ragnaros, Caribou on Lucio, Flash on Johanna, and Deathocaris on Junkrat. Camera cooperate. There we go. So this time, both teams will go the mid lane. ETC is going to eat a mine and get completely displaced, eat a lot of damage. Then he eats a bear trap for his trouble, too. Is able to power slide on Johanna, and then the tongue and the silence. That silence was like a half a second too late to prevent the Iron Skin from proccing. Johanna was able to get out alive. Teams now rotating into lane. So definitely different comps from between games 2 and games 1. Really, the only similarity is the Ragnaros must be a comfort pick, or must be a comfort pick for a House of Chez. Not something you see a whole lot nowadays. Dahaka and Ragnaros just kind of staring at each other, neither one putting any damage into the wave. Let's go back to the 4-man. However, the combination on Almost Legends of ETC, Jaina, Stukov, when ETC can actually, even Greymane too, if ETC can isolate somebody out, that could really be a death sentence if you get the follow-up from the Jaina and the Stukov there. Junkrat's one of those heroes that you don't see a whole lot of anymore, but man, when you do, is he annoying. When he's played well, just the displacement, how hard he is to kill. ETC just goes into those bushes for the flank, and he's just eating the bear trap and the concussion mine every time. Look at how much poke ETC took down for that. Like, basically 100% health to half. Almost Legends does secure their siege camp, though, and now they are rotating away. No? Yes? So first and fifth spawns on Towers of Doom will be triple altar spawns. The top lane continues to be a little bit dull. Tribulation, though, is kind of zoning him off of the experience, so that's a pretty savvy play for the Dahaka player. In the bottom lane, Balalos is ETC once again in the forefront, taking a lot of damage, but Jaina is actually concussion mined into tower range. Fortunately for her, no members of House of Chez were close enough to follow up and maybe finish her off, because she was down pretty low. Power slide onto flash and the slow and the silence. They aren't able to finish him off, but he is oh so low. The teams split the top shrines. Lucio, first victim, first blood. Dahaka burrowing down and finishing him off. And that is going to be 2 altars secured for Almost Legends to only 1 for House of Chez. Let's talk about that Dahaka. On Towers of Doom, Dahaka is so valuable. He just allows you the threat. On this camp in particular, your opponent's bruiser camp, siege camp, anytime Dahaka can burrow down and you know the other team's solo laner is still in the top lane, it's a threat of a 5v4, and you really got to be careful. Oh, the stun into the silence. Oh, flash, 76 hit points. He does get away. Nice follow-up by Balalos onto the lurking arm, able to force Junkrat to sit in that silence and walk out the old-fashioned way. Was so close. One more Greymane auto attack, if he could have got it in, might have done the trick. Greymane's another hero who has fallen out of the meta. I really like Greymane a lot. He can do fantastic siege damage like he is now, just wailing away on structures, is able to burn buildings so quickly. And look at the work they're doing here in this bottom lane. Granted, they had the mines as well. Tychus, power slide, face melt. The Jaina slows are on him. They cannot finish him. Greymane was still down, kind of away from that. Not able to follow up. So Almost Legends really putting a lot of pressure in this bottom lane. Similar to how House of Chez was doing in the mid lane game 1. Prioritizing these siege giants again, rotating quickly. And they will secure these right as this second altar spawn, a single one this time, is here. Dahaka still showing top, but of course he can burrow down anytime he wants to. All 5 members of House of Chez are here, and as something we have seen become a little bit of here's the Hawk on the backside. Galenza, huge tongue onto Lucio. The Blizzard not quite able to finish him off, and it's actually Jaina that goes down. Unfortunate there for Almost Legends. Junkrat and Stukov also going down. The Dahaka player, Tribulation, had a huge burrow onto the backside, and they came so close to finishing off that Lucio, just unable to do it. A 2-for-1 for House of Chez. What I started to say before that brouhaha broke out there is in both of these games, Game 1 and Game 2, Almost Legends is a hair slower to the objectives and is ceding the position. So they're constantly having to force their way in to House of Chez rather than getting there first and forcing House of Chez to work their way into them. And it's really been tough for them a couple of times to do that, to force their way into a defended position with House of Chez able to place themselves where they want on each of these objectives. So level 10s are here momentarily for both teams. Now Almost Legends did secure the top sappers and were able to push them in. ETC is looking for something right as Heroics come on board. Blessed Shield, Draken Laser, Lava Wave, Sound Barrier, Junkrat is not showing. For the side of Almost Legends, it is going to be go for the throat. Jaina needs to move or she's going to eat that Lava Wave. Mosh Pit, Flailing Swipe, Isolation, and it's actually a Riptire for Junkrat. Jaina not showing quite yet. I would think with a Mosh Pit you would want Ring of Frost, and yeah, it's going to be Ring of Frost for Jaina. The first 5-on-5 post 10 in this game number 2. Double altar spawn, aggressive positioning for Almost Legends. They don't want to concede both of these. Dahaka is channeling on the backside. Drake and Laser goes down. That really should force the withdrawal from Almost Legends, but it doesn't. Riptire goes out, flailing swipe to try to keep them off of ETC, who is so low. But once again, Dahaka on the backside lands the tongue, able to put pressure. And it's actually Johanna and Ragnaros who go down. A team fight that did not look great for Almost Legends to start, but they turn it into a 2-0 and a double altar channel. Early lead now for Almost Legends, and now they immediately turn to the boss. They have fantastic boss burn with Jaina and Greyman. I think they should be able to burn this before the full team of House of Chez can get here, and they can. So that actually turned into 12 shots onto the core of House of Chez. So House of Chez, even though the level-wise this game is identical, they are on their back foot with regards to core health, and this bottom fort has been constantly under attack, this bell tower. And with those pumpkin sappers secured by Almost Legends, they're really going to have their eyes set on taking down this bottom bell tower. All of the heroics are almost up for the side of Almost Legends. Dahaka can burrow in whenever he wants. And knowing that, are they going to move in on the aggressive siege? Not quite yet. Greymane has started it up, zoning away his ETC while Greymane does this solo. They're just trying to hold House of Chez here. However, the grenades from Junkrat have checked it out. Greymane needs to leave. Oh my goodness, he is able to secure it. And just a aggressive positioning here by Hoedown. He did not care that House of Chez was coming in. That was going to be his camp. And now Almost Legends, they have their eyes set on this bottom bell tower. And it works out well for what they have in mind, that the altar spawn will be a solo in the bottom. Dahaka still in the offlane soaking. He has his level 13 advantage for his team. He is double soaking and can come in. We're going to see him come in on this bush where Tychus is standing, almost definitely. And you can actually see the danger pings coming out by House of Chez. They know where Dahaka is coming in. Now, Molten Core is popped to get a little extra damage on here. Almost Legends forced back, forced to give up the positioning that I mentioned. This is the time that they actually came here first and got the positioning. Drake and Laser goes down. Stukov eating a lot of damage, and the Molten Core. Dahaka does get on the backside, lands the isolation onto the Tychus. Now that forces House of Chez back and allows Almost Legends to get positioning. Dahaka eats a face full of Riptire. However, a 4-man Ring of Frost Mosh Pit Silence combo. Almost Legends, I don't know how they didn't get more than one. That's actually a 1-for-1. ETC traded out for Junkrat. The execution was so good. Will Ragnaros go down on the backside? Dahaka just wailing on him. Can't quite finish the job. Greymane trying to peel for Jaina by just going in there with damage. Neither team able to secure this, and neither team able to get more than one kill. Jaina goes down. Tychus is going to go down too from the Dahaka. Another 1-for-1. Now, Junkrat and ETC have both spawned. They both died in the start of this battle. They are on their way here. Greymane goes in on the Lucio, trying to clear him out and buy the space for Stukov to channel. Greymane is very low, running from those Junkrat grenades. This is all over the place. ETC and Junkrat have both arrived. I'm not sure which way this is going to go. With Greymane being low, maybe Almost Legend backs up. Maybe not. Just a tap as well. Man, I thought for sure with the Mosh Pit, Ring of Frost, Stukov Silence, I thought that was going to be that. Johanna taking a ton of damage. Ragnaros isolated. Silence. Ragnaros is not going to get out of that, except for he does, because the Lucio sound barrier was spot on. However, it expired by the time that Ring of Frost survived. The Ring of Frost was put down by Jaina. This battle has actually gone on so long that the second round of kills for both teams have died and spawned. ETC and Junkrat died in the beginning of this fight. It carried on forever. They both spawned and arrived. Jaina died much later as she is concussion mined forward, and she spawned and arrived as well. Finally, if I were to guess, I would say that was at least 90 seconds on that bottom objective. It is Almost Legends that is able to put that away and continue to build on their lead. They're on the verge of 20. The Dahaka Global, on the verge of 16. The Dahaka Global giving them the soak advantage. And this bottom fort is just itching to be destroyed. Once again, prioritization on the siege camp. Almost Legends, they are here. They want to invade this one more time. Use that Dahaka Global and their level 16 advantage. ETC is starting up on it. However, Jaina's in the bottom lane. If House of Chez comes in hard on this, it could mean trouble. A little bit late, the concussion mine bounces ETC away, the lurking arm zoning out the rest of House of Chez, and finally the bottom bell tower falls. 4 of the pumpkin sappers are actually still left, and Almost Legends going to try to push them in. The lava wave will clear a lot of that out. Mosh pit, or power slide does not hit. Lurking arm zoning away Johanna. Top lane, Ragnaros and Dahaka continuing to go at it. And flailing swipe, nice play by Megalomania to force at least one pumpkin sapper in and get the free fort damage. Triple altar spawn. House of Chez is in a pretty rough spot here. I don't know exactly how they're going to step into this. Looks like they're going to focus on maybe getting just the upper right and burning down the bottom fort. But Almost Legends is having none of that. They have Greymane taking top left, Dahaka posturing top right, and they know they're going to get the bottom one simply because Almost Legends really can't get there. Dahaka may have bitten off more than he can chew, though, as all of the members of House of Chez are here. He is running for his life. 2 altars channeled for Almost Legends, 1 for House of Chez. And Dahaka manages to stay alive. So only 5 shots left for House of Chez. Almost Legends really looking good to force a game 3 here. The ETC Stukov Jaina combo proving to be very good. Throwing in with a little Greymane as well. Unassisted ring only hits 1, but there's a power slide to isolate out Junkrat, a burrow in as well. Almost Legends getting aggressive. 2-man mosh pit is like instantly interrupted. However, Greymane going crazy on the backside, able to finish off a weakened Junkrat. Lucio, Rag, Tychus all go down. Johanna is the only member of House of Chez that is alive to tell the tale. Now they move on to the boss. This will only leave 1 core health left for House of Chez. Johanna needs to just leave. There's nothing that she can really do for this. Isolation. No, that was just the lurking arm there. So 1 core health left. House of Chez completely on their back foot. I apologize, guys. This is a little bit of a bug that happens from time to time. Fortunately, this is a replay cast, so what that means is my Heroes client is going to crash out at 16:09, so I'm going to have to start up this. So I'm going to put the BRB up for probably just a minute or so, and then we will wrap up this matchup between House of Chez and Almost Legends. Be right back. Oh, well, there we go. Don't know why that took so long to pop in, but we are back in the replay at pretty close to where we were before, wrapping up this set between Almost Legends and House of Chez. Almost Legends is going to go ahead and finish up this boss, leaving only one core health left for House of Chez, and leaving House of Almost Legends. I almost combined their names again. I really want a team name that's House of Legends, apparently. Leaving Almost Legends in a fantastic spot to force a Game 3. So 2 of these altars are up. I don't think... oh, they're going to try to force a third win condition. So they need to either secure one of these altars. The minions in the bottom, one of them needs to push through. I don't think House of Chez realizes these pumpkin sappers are going to win the game. This is game 2, going over to Almost Legends. There were just so many win conditions on the board that House of Chez didn't really know where to go. They had mercs pushing in bottom. They had 2 altar spawn there. And the minions, the pumpkin sappers, pushing in the top lane as well. So let's give the message log a chance to go away. We will take a look at our funky match summary when we're in the replay. The combination of ETC, Jaina, Stukov is one of my favorite. It's really good. It's really strong. If ETC gets a nice initiation and Jaina and Stukov are in range, it's really a death sentence for anybody but a tank. And Almost Legends really had a couple of big-time plays that they were making with that combo here. So we will go to a decisive Game 3. Both of these teams are assured to get at least 1 point here in the opening week of NGS Season 6. But let's see which of them is going to get the match win and the second point with that win. So Game 3 will take us to an oldie but a goodie on Infernal Shrine.